Hello friends, welcome to the video series on interview question for SQL PL SQL developers. In this video, we'll see about what is the maximum number of trigger of different type that can be defined on the same table, and in case if you are defining more than one type of trigger, what is the order of execution. In the next video, we'll see about is it possible to create more than one trigger of same type on same table. Let us start with the first question. What is the maximum number of trigger of different type that can be defined on the same table? So before that, let's understand what are the types of DML trigger. In fact, most of the trigger related questions like what is a trigger, what are the types of trigger, what are all the types of DML trigger, all those things are already covered. The links of those videos are given in the description for better understanding. Fine, let me just quickly take you through the different types of DML trigger. So the DML triggers are broadly classified into two types, a row level trigger and statement level trigger. The row level trigger will get fired for each and every row that is getting modified, whereas the statement level trigger will get fired once for the statement execution. Further, the row level and statement level triggers are classified based on the type of DML operation. So we have like three types of row level trigger: insert, update and delete. Similarly, we have insert, update and delete statement level trigger. Further, these triggers are classified based on the timing of the event, whether you want the trigger to be fired before the DML operation or after the completion of DML operation. So we have like before insert row level trigger, after insert row level trigger. Similarly for update, before update row level trigger, after update row level trigger. Similarly, we have like 6 more categories under the statement level trigger. See, finally we have actually 12 types of DML trigger. Yes, in fact, we can go and create all these 12 types of DML triggers on a table. Fine. Now let me show you creating all these 12 triggers. Next, we'll see what is the order in which these triggers will get fired. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create simple table called student. I'm creating a sequence called a log sequence, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to print the sequence from the body of trigger so that it is easy for us to understand what is the order in which these triggers get fired. First, I'm going to create the insert triggers. So here is the trigger for statement level before insert. So here is the trigger for statement level after insert. Here is a trigger for row level before insert, and here is the trigger for row level after insert. So I am creating all these 4 insert related triggers. Similarly, I am creating 4 update trigger. So statement level before update, statement level after update, row level before update, and row level after update. See, in fact, from within body of each trigger, you can see here I'm just printing the name of the trigger for better understanding, because in the next example we are going to execute some DML operation, so that we will clearly say what is the order in which these triggers get fired. Also, I'm printing the sequence number so that it is easy for us to understand in what order these triggers are actually getting fired. Fine. So we just created 8 triggers, 4 for insert and 4 for update. So here are 4 delete triggers. So here is the statement level before delete trigger, statement level after delete trigger, similarly row level before delete trigger, and row level after delete trigger. I've just created all the 4 delete related trigger. See, now we have just created 12 different types of trigger. Let us just quickly query from the user trigger data dictionary table to see whether all the 12 triggers are created or not. You can trigger from the user triggers table. You just give your table name as input. It will just give you the list of triggers that is created on your table. So in this case, we have created actually 12 triggers. You can see the timing triggering event. So 4 insert trigger, 4 update trigger, and 4 delete trigger. Fine. Now let us understand what is the order in which these triggers will get fired. Anyway, when we are doing a DML operation, only any 4 of these triggers will get fired. Not all these 12 triggers will get fired. For example, when you are doing an insert operation, only the 4 insert related triggers will get fired. Similarly, when you are doing an update, only the update related trigger will get fired. Similarly, when you are doing a delete, only the delete related trigger will get fired. But only when you are doing a merge statement, insert and update statements triggers may get fired. I will show you an example bit later. Okay. First, let us start with a very simple insert statement. If you are doing an insert into this table, what will happen? As I told, when we are doing an insert operation, whatever the insert related triggers are there, it will get fired. So in our case, we have all the 4 insert triggers, like before statement insert trigger, after statement insert trigger, similarly before row level insert trigger and after row level insert trigger. Let us see what is the order in which these triggers will get fired. The first trigger that will get fired is the before statement level trigger, okay, and followed by the before row level trigger. Then followed by the actual insert operation will happen, followed by the after row level trigger, and then followed by the after statement level trigger. So this is the order in which the triggers will get fired if there is more than one trigger exist on the same table. Fine. So now let me show you by executing this insert statement so that we'll practically see is this the same order in which the triggers are actually getting fired. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fire this insert statement. Now you can see here the first trigger got fired is the statement level before trigger, followed by the row level before trigger, then the actual insert operation, followed by after row level trigger, finally the after statement level trigger. You can see the sequence here in what order the trigger got fired. Let me just insert one more record because later I am going to do an update statement. So now also you can see again 4 more times the trigger got fired. So the sequence starts from 5 to 8. Okay, so let me just commit the data. Okay, now that we have just inserted the record and we understood that the order of execution is like before statement followed by before row level and the actual operation followed by after row level and finally the after statement level. Let us do an update statement here. So right now in our table we have like 2 records. We just inserted 2 records like King and John. And if you are doing an update statement on this table, let us understand how many times the trigger will get fired. As I told you, the statement level trigger will get fired once for the statement, whereas the row level trigger will get fired for each and every row that is getting affected. So in this case, what happened? When I am doing an update, obviously all these 4 update statement will get triggered or fired. The statement level trigger will get fired once for each statement. So this and this will get fired only one time, whereas the row level trigger will get fired 2 times. Because there are 2 records here and this update statement is affecting all those 2 records. Fine. So similarly after row trigger also will get fired. So totally if you see here the triggering event will be 6 times the trigger will get fired, like once for statement level trigger and twice for row level trigger. Right. Now let me show you practically this example. Fine. Now let us check how many records. Yes, we have 2 records. Now if I am executing the update statement, you will see the statement level trigger gets fired once because that is for the statement, whereas the row level triggers, that is the before and after, got fired twice. Okay, this is one set and here is another set because the row level trigger will get fired for each and every row that is getting affected. Fine. So in the previous example and in this example, if we see, only that DML specific triggers got fired. In the previous example, only the insert related trigger got fired. In this example, only the update related trigger got fired. Let me show you one more example quickly, because you should understand that it's not necessary that only an insert or update will get fired. When we are doing a merge statement, it will do both, because in as part of merge statement we are doing actually update as well as insert. Okay, so this will fire both the update trigger as well as insert trigger. So let me just execute, because this merge statement is written in such a way that it is going to insert one record and it is going to update one record. So what will happen here is that this also will trigger 8 triggers, because 4 triggers for insert related operation and 4 more triggers for update related operation. You can see here the order in which the triggers got fired. First it started with both the statement level before triggers, that is statement level insert trigger as well as statement level update trigger. Then it started with row level triggers, so row level update, then it started with row level insert, and finally the statement level insert and update. So totally 8 triggers got fired because of this merge statement. Fine. So we just understood the number of triggers that can be defined, that is 12 different types of triggers can be defined on the same table, and the order of execution. In the next video we'll see, is it possible to create the same type of triggers on the same table? If yes, what is the order of execution and how to control the order of execution? Fine. If you want any questions to be answered, you can post it in the comment section or you can drop to this mail ID. But before that, you can probably check through the list of questions which is already posted as part of the subscriber question or as part of the interview questions, because most of the questions are already answered. In case if you are not able to find your question here, please feel free to write back to me. I'll be happy to record and post as a separate video. If you have learned something new, please like this video, subscribe and stay tuned for new feature video, interview question, SQL practical question and concept videos. And thanks a lot for watching this video. Please click the bell icon to get instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded into this channel. Thanks a lot.